Hello everyone, in this video we're going to dive into one of the many controversial topics in the Showa Godzilla series. The way this video is going to work is you'll hear a quick and heated debate from both sides of the argument, then the judge will make his ruling once all the evidence is shared. With that, let's debate. Debating in favor of stock footage, we have Godzilla, who has had a long history of battling monsters outside the courtroom. And debating against stock footage, we have King Ghidorah, who has fought Godzilla many times before. Finally, presiding over today's debate is the Honorable Judge King Kong, who is in town celebrating Godzilla vs. Kong's theatrical debut in Japan. Godzilla steps forward to deliver his opening argument. He talks about how stock footage shouldn't be controversial because in most cases it doesn't take away from the movie. Godzilla admits that sometimes stock footage might not work, but that it's rare. King Ghidorah steps forward and delivers his opening argument. He says that stock footage should be considered controversial because in most cases it takes away from the movie, and there are even times where it makes the movie worse. Judge Kong says now that the opening arguments are done, it's time to begin the debate. He asks Godzilla and King Ghidorah if they have any evidence they'd like to share. Godzilla steps forward and presents Exhibit A. Here we have the rampage scene from Invasion of Astro Monster. As you can see, scenes from the original Rodan and Mothra are used. With the way that they are cropped and styled, it fits in well with the overall rampage montage. Ghidorah quickly fires back and presents his Exhibit A. Well, in Godzilla vs. Gigan, the scene from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster where Godzilla is pushed back into a bridge looks off. It doesn't fit into the movie, and what's even more jarring is how you can blatantly see it's not even the same Godzilla suit. Even in the Astro Monster video you showed, you can clearly see it's the 1956 Rodan suit, which is jarring. Godzilla says that while you can see the classic Rodan suit, it's cropped in a way where they do a good job of hiding it. So if they do a good job of hiding it, then it's okay, King Ghidorah responds. Angry, Godzilla's spines start lighting up. Judge Kong hammers his gavel, order in the court, now proceed with the evidence. Godzilla calms himself down and gets out Exhibit B. Here, during this scene in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Namie has a vision of a monster laying waste to civilization. This scene from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster works great here, again proving that stock footage can work well. King Ghidorah laughs and shows his Exhibit B. Here is a scene from Godzilla vs. Megalon. Godzilla gets ready to head to Japan. The scene cuts to Godzilla jumping into the water. The problem here is that this is just a scene from A Bear or the Horror of the Deep. It's also jarring because the suits are again different. I find it jarring because you see the suit from the movie and then a suit that's totally different. Godzilla interjects saying that the whole scene is just to show Godzilla going into the water, so why does it matter? King Ghidorah responds that it's jarring and it's better to have consistency with the suits. King Ghidorah says that this scene is another reason why stock footage is mainly a detractor. Godzilla shows Exhibit C. Here in Godzilla vs. Megalon, a little after the scene King Ghidorah just showed, we see Megalon rampaging through the city. While scenes of Ghidorah's rampage from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster are used, I think it works and is fine. Both scenes are set during the day, and I think that helps in this situation. King Ghidorah responds saying that the stock footage used looks too old for a 1973 movie. He then presents his Exhibit C. King Ghidorah shows a montage from All Monsters Attack for his exhibit. This movie is made up almost entirely of stock footage and only has a few actual new scenes. It's jarring when you see the Godzilla suit drastically change from scene to scene, because they're all from various Godzilla films from over the years. If anything, stock footage sinks this movie because of all the jarring changes. Interestingly, they chose scenes where the suit is completely different over scenes from the previous movie Destroy All Monsters, which uses the same suit as All Monsters Attack. This offender is more proof that stock footage only detracts from the movie. Godzilla gets angry and turns towards King Ghidorah and blasts him with his atomic breath. King Ghidorah deflects it with his wings and then fires his gravity beams back. His hurricane winds send everything flying around the courtroom. As Godzilla and King Ghidorah duke it out, Judge Kong slams down his gavel and brings order to the court. Hoping to stop any further fights, Judge Kong calls for closing arguments. Godzilla says that the evidence presented speaks for itself. The use of stock footage isn't as controversial as King Ghidorah is making it seem. Godzilla says that the use of stock footage from his examples didn't detract from the movies. So while stock footage isn't always ideal, it's not a big deal when it's used. King Ghidorah laughs again at Godzilla. It's a big deal because it's jarring when you have a scene with one Godzilla suit and then another with a totally different one. I'm not saying it makes the movie a terrible movie, but it doesn't add anything. Most of the time, the scenes used don't line up with the right time of day, making it even more jarring. Even with the edits done in the bridge scene that I showed earlier, it still doesn't look like it's the right time of day. The two monsters wait for the judge to give his decree. Judge Kong sits and thinks for a while and then pummels his gavel again. "I've made a decision," he exclaims. For the most part, stock footage is typically jarring. However, Godzilla showed that it can be effective when used properly. I would say that you both made great arguments, but I side with Godzilla. While it's not perfect, stock footage isn't as controversial as you make it out to seem, King Ghidorah. Judge Kong slams his gavel again, adjourning the court. Godzilla and King Ghidorah look at each other and start mauling each other again. The courtroom starts to become a sea of flames and the audience runs out. Until the next controversial topic, this has been Kaiju Court Debate. I hope hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again for the continued support. Let me know your thoughts on stock footage down below in the comments. I really appreciate it. See you in the next one, G-fans.